At this time, I'll call to order the City of Joliet City Council meeting for June 3rd, 2025. We'll start the meeting, Mayor Terry Darcy presiding, and then we will start the meeting with an invocation by Kurt Paddock, the pastoral leader at St. Edward and Christ Episcopal Church, 206 North Midland Avenue here in Joliet, and after which he will lead us in the pledge.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council. Let's pause and reflect for a moment on a verse from Holy Scripture. If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives generously to all without reproach, and it will be given to him. Dear Lord, we humbly seek your divine wisdom for our city leaders. Grant them clarity in decision-making, compassion for the constituents, and the courage to pursue justice and equity. May they be guided by your light, fostering unity and progress in our community. Help them to listen and serve with integrity, always prioritizing the well-being of all. Amen. Please join with me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of our country. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll begin with roll call. Mayor Darcy.
Here.
Councilman Cardenas.
Here.
Councilman Clement.
Here.
Councilman Hug.
Here.
Councilwoman Navarra.
Here.
Councilman Moreno.
Here.
Councilman Mudrin.
Here.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Here.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Here.
First, we have a presentation. The 2025 Congressional Fire Service Institute Fire-Based EMS Award. Fire Chief Jeff Carey.
Our next award presentation is the CFSI Massimo Excellence in Fire Service-Based EMS Award.
What I'm hearing from our firefighters and paramedics, our first responders who are running these calls, is that we're seeing an increase in these calls.
It's a universal problem. Mental and behavioral health calls have become a significant challenge for firefighters and their chiefs.
They're not psychiatrists, they're not mental health professionals. They're just looking for the tools and resources to be able to help.
In Joliet, Illinois, a city of 150,000, the fire department has searched for solutions and found some.
I really applaud Joliet Fire Department for what they're doing to address mental health. It's an innovative program. It's having a far-reaching impact on their community.
The Joliet Fire Department debuted its community mental health program almost 3 years ago. Training paramedics and firefighters in crisis first aid was an initial step. But Joliet's leaders knew this wasn't just a fire department problem.
So instead of it just being all on the fire department, they're relying on their community partners as well.
Those partnerships with the local hospital and a counseling service provide rapid crisis intervention and cost-free definitive mental health services to every Joliet resident. And the city started a fund that pays for what insurance won't cover. The program's now expanding from the city to the county.
They're addressing at a no-cost effect on their community, giving them resources to mental health care and providers, and being able to have that access right after a call within 24 to 48 hours. And then I guess the partnerships with the hospitals, with the other community leaders, putting all those three things together makes for a program that's, in my opinion, just excellent.
I can only hope that other fire departments look at this program and embrace this program and attempt to launch this program throughout the country, because there are so many people out there in need of attention to address our mental health crisis.
Having a sponsor like Maximo allows us to share this information. It allows other fire departments to see the innovative ideas that other departments are integrating in their department, and it gives us an opportunity to recognize excellence in EMS delivery.
On behalf of the Congressional Fire Services Institute in Massimo, it's our honor to present the 2025 Excellence in Fire Service-Based EMS Award to the Joliet Fire Department. Congratulations. Good evening, Mayor Darcy and members of the City Council. Thank you for allowing me, Bill Webb, Executive Director of the Congressional Fire Services Institute, and David Gelfin, Regional Senior Sales Representative for Massimo, the opportunity to be here this evening to present to you the CFSI Massimo Excellence in Fire Service-Based EMS Award. The program was launched in 2010 to recognize fire departments for innovations and enhancements in the delivery of emergency medical services. And by recognizing fire departments for their outstanding achievements, other fire departments that face similar challenges can learn what they can do to enhance their EMS systems. We are honored to present this award in Washington, D.C. to your fire department at the 34th Annual National Fire and Emergency Services Dinner last February. Chief Carey stood before 1,300 of his peers from across the nation to accept the award on behalf of your department. And Mayor Darcy, we are delighted to have you on the stage as well as other stakeholders of this program. Mental and behavioral health is a challenge that faces every community across our nation. This program, which you launched in 2022, demonstrates a forward-thinking fire department in addressing the mental health of its personnel and the citizens they have sworn to protect. And the financial commitment of the City Council to support this program is meritorious and one of the key factors in selecting the Joliet Fire Department for this award. It is important to point out that the selection committee was comprised of representatives from the International Association of Fire Chiefs, the International Association of Firefighters, the National Fire Protection Association, the National Volunteer Fire Council, the International Fire Service Training Association, as well as CFSI and Massimo. So the selection of your department for this award reflects the position and the support that you received from every major national fire service organization in the country that represents our 1 million firefighters and emergency services personnel. At this time, I'd like to turn the podium over to David for the actual award presentation. David?
Thank you, Bill, and thank you, Mayor DRC, for giving us this opportunity to recognize your fire department once again for its outstanding achievements in the field of emergency medical services. Massimo has served as a co-sponsor of the Excellence in Fire Service-Based EMS Award since 2016. Founded in 1989, Massimo is a leading innovator in EMS technologies used by fire departments, hospitals, and other healthcare providers throughout the world to provide emergency medical care. We are proud to sponsor this award with the Congressional Fire Services Institute to recognize fire departments like the Joliet Fire Department that are developing innovative programs to address the growing emergency medical needs in communities across the nation. While we presented the award to Chief Casey at the National Fire and Emergency Services Dinner last February in Washington, D.C., we are here to present the award to you, Mayor DRC, and your fellow council members. You deserve to be recognized for providing the funding and support which have allowed the fire department to launch such an innovative program that addresses a growing national challenge in mental health. So, on behalf of Massimo and CFSI, it's my honor to present you to the 2025 Excellence in Fire Service-Based EMS. Congratulations.
Yeah, everyone come. The fire department.
You're going down or you're coming out?
I think we should.
You going down or staying
No,
up?
you guys stay up here.
Okay. We'll stay here. She needed to work this
He's coming over here. Go ahead, we'll be with you three in the middle.
Thank you, Pat.
Oh, this is Perez.
Oh, there you go, much better.
We're gonna have them all.
Hi, guys.
Don't be shy.
We have to start a fire. Time is money, let's go.
Firefighters aren't shy until you take a picture.
There you go.
There we go. Get them all in there.
Oh, boy. That ain't gonna work.
Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, ready to drive.
you have that wide angle on there?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Are you sick?
No, just a cough.
I know. Start bringing the cough drops again.
It. Okay. Next is the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as written?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next is citizens to be heard on agenda items. Is there anyone who would like to speak on an agenda item? Okay, seeing none. Next are appointments. First, we have an amendment to the reappointment of Karen Fonte to the Tree Advisory Board to correct a scrivener's error and record the correct name. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. The mayor is recommending Mike Ulitz be appointed to the Plan Commission, replacing Dominic Orlando. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. The mayor is recommending Sarah Stovall be reappointed to the Joliet Historic Preservation Commission. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. The mayor is recommending Nancy Hendrickson, Amita Ostrom, and Lynn Poper Similia be reappointed to the Joliet Public Library Board. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. The mayor is recommending Scott Matthews and Eric Mattson be reappointed to the Fireman's Pension Fund Board of Trustees. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. The mayor is recommending Tom Grotowski be reappointed to the Joliet Arts Commission. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. The mayor is recommending George Stofan be reappointed to the Joliet Police Pension Board. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion approved. Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon, Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next, we have council committee reports. First, we have Land Use and Economic Development.
Land Use and Economic Development Committee met here in council chambers on Wednesday, May 20th at 9 a.m. In attendance was myself and Councilwoman Ibarra. We had approval of the minutes, and then we just had a couple of agenda items that we went over. First one was TMP 8584, the award of professional services agreement for a TIF efficiency study to Johnson Research Group in the amount of $72,615. This will be a study on our existing TIFs to be paid for out of the funds that are in our current TIFs as well. So we kind of see where they're at and how they could be better performing. The second agenda item that we reviewed was the TMP 8586, a resolution authorizing the modification of a lease agreement of the Union Station at 50 West Jefferson Street with JBM Golf Properties LLC. They're looking to extend their lease beyond 2027 as they are getting requests for dates for beyond those dates. So it was a good discussion that we had with them, just seeing the amount of people that are looking for future dates for weddings, and they're pretty booked solid as it is now. So we reviewed both of those items and voted unanimously to bring them to full council with our support. Councilwoman Ibarra, did I miss anything? Or?
No, that's perfect.
That would be my report, Mayor.
Thank you.
Next, we have public safety.
Thank you very much. The City of Joliet Public Safety Committee met today here in the council chambers at 5:36. I was in attendance. Councilwoman Kuhlman and Councilwoman Ibarra were here. We had roll call. We approved the minutes from May 6, 2025. There were no citizens to be heard on any agenda items. Number one on the agenda item was authorization to upgrade furniture, tables, chairs, and a podium in the City of Joliet Police Department Community Room in the amount of $47,207.95. All the equipment and everything in there, not the equipment, but the tables, chairs, and podium, over 20 years old. It's in dire straits, so that's coming out of the asset forfeiture fund. So we approve that to come at a later date to the full council. Under resolutions, number one, resolution authorizing the execution of an intergovernmental agreement with the Will County 911 Emergency Telephone System Board to accept grant funds available under the 911 surcharge grant program. This is just we do this every year. That's on council agenda tonight under 338-25. Then we had grant funds available for the 911 surcharge grant program. Scratch that. Resolution authorizing agreement between the City of Joliet and the Village of Shanahan regarding the provision of law enforcement mutual aid. And that's again on tonight's agenda under 337-25. And then coming at a future date, resolution authorizing the execution of a memorandum of understanding between the City of Joliet and the Kankakee County Emergency Telephone Board System. Basically what this is, it's coming at a later date. So Kankakee can talk to our guys on a system instead of going 2 or 3 different ways. So that's going to come at a later date, and that was approved unanimously to come at a later date. There was no new or old business, not for final action, and then there was no public comment, and then we adjourned. Do we have anything else, Jan or Susanna?
No, great job.
We're all good.
Okay, thank you. That's my report, Mayor.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, and lastly, we have public service.
Public Service Committee met yesterday here in the council chambers at 4:30 in the afternoon. In attendance and on the committee is Councilwoman Reardon, Councilman Mudrin, and myself. Our agenda had 4 contracts that were reviewed. Contracts of note would be $648,000, almost $649,000 for Advanced Traffic Management System Phase B project. In short, what that means is we're updating citywide all of our traffic lights, stop lights and so forth, so that they're more efficient, they're more timed together, they're brought into the new century, and they will be able to communicate additionally beyond our own stock of lights. They'll communicate with other municipalities, including county or state, so all the lights can kind of work together. So it's something we needed to do for many years, and we're doing it. And we looked at all 4 of the contracts and found them to be in order and unanimously passed them forward to the City Council with our recommendation to approve. Another thing to note, it's not a huge deal, but for $529,000, we looked at awarding a contract for the 2025 sewer cleaning and inspection program to a company called Pipeview America. And what this is, after I think it's 12 years, when we first started 12 years ago going through the sewer system, it's taken 12 years to inspect every inch of our sewer system. So Not a job most of us want to do, but it's been done. The entire system's been inspected. So now, at the end of this year, starting next year, we'll be able to focus on having, if you will, mapped and identified areas of the sewer system that collect the most blockage and be ahead of that curve. So I do thank Allison and her crews for getting this, all done, because it's been a long process. 12 years, right, Allison? 12 years, and it's finally completed, and now we'll focus on the problem areas. And under the change orders, pay estimates, final payments, we had 3 items, 2 that I'd like to make note of, because one, for the Krings Acres Phase 2 Water Main Improvements Project, from a company called J. Congdon Sewer Services. They finished up the job, and we've closing up the contract at a decreased amount, under budget, of $106,099. And then again, we had another decreased amount for much more for the Fairmount Water and Sewer Extension project. This was with Steve Speece Construction Incorporated, and again, they buttoned up the job, and we closed out the contract, and we were under budget at $745,000. So that's always good news when we come in under budget, and we do it more often than I think sometimes people are aware of. Under ordinance and resolutions, mostly housekeeping, like resolutions appropriating rebuildability bond funds to pay for the improvements that I just spoke of. So I'm not seeing anything that needs anything specific. We did enter another, every 10 years, we get an intergovernmental agreement for routine maintenance, which means snow plowing, potholes, things of that nature for state routes that are located within the city limits. And the current 10-year contract ends at the end of this year, so we looked at the new contract. Again, all the items under ordinance and resolutions, as well as change orders, pay estimates, and final payments, we did find to be in order and were unanimously approved to be sent forward to the full council with committee recommendation for council approval. That would be my entire report, unless I missed something, Pat or Sherry?
I think
No,
you're good. Thank
fine.
you.
All right, there you go, Mayor.
Thank you.
I show no other reports. Under consent agenda, invoices to be paid. It is recommended this report be approved. Council memo number 324-25, award of contract for the Advanced Traffic Management System Phase B project, MFT, section number 210054603TL to H&H Electric Company in the amount of $648,969.63. Council memo number 325-25, award of contract for the 2025 sewer cleaning and inspection program to Pipe View America in the amount of $528,650, and a professional services agreement for professional engineering and field inspection services to RJN Group Incorporated in the amount of $98,500. Council memo number 326-25, award of professional services agreement for the 2025 Force Main Design and Cleaning Program to RJN Group Incorporated in the amount of $31,900. Council memo number 327-25, award of professional services agreement for the Phase 2 engineering services for the Theodore Street over Rock Run Creek Bridge Improvement Project, MFT section number 19-00522-00BR to Sierra Group Incorporated in the amount of $397,566. Council memo number 328-25, award of professional services agreement for a TIF efficiency study to Johnson Research Group in the amount of $72,615. Council memo number 329-25, approval of change order number 1 for the Krings Acres Phase 2A Water Main Improvements Project to J. Congdon Sewer Services for a decreased amount of $106,099.20. Council memo number 330-25, approval of change order number 1 for the Fairmount Water and Sewer Extension Project to Steve Speece Construction Incorporated for a decreased amount of $745,046.58. Council memo number 331-25, approval of change order number 2 for the 2024 sidewalk curb replacement project, East Joliet, on behalf of Davis Concrete Construction Company for adjustments to the project completion date. It is recommended council memos 324-25 through 331-25 be approved. Is there a motion to approve all said consent agenda items?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hugg?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudron?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next is licenses and permit applications. Council Memo Number 333-25, issuance of a Class E liquor license at 751 North Hickory Street, Maracaibo Bite. Is there a motion to approve the issuance of said liquor license?
So move.
Second. Question. I just want to ask, these are this year districts, I just wanted to know.
Yeah, it's
How do
an existing restaurant, and then
Okay.
kind of just rename it to a new restaurant, so it'd be good for the area.
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay, thanks.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 334-25, issuance of a Class E liquor license at 671, 675 Collins Street, Brava Banquet. Is there a motion to approve the issuance of said liquor license?
So moved. Second.
Any questions?
Same question.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Mayor?
Yes.
I just want to make a comment. Yesterday, I had asked for a report on our current liquor licenses. We all received it already today via email. And I'm sure you all saw it, so thank you, Beth. Thank you, too, Lauren. You got to turn it around real quick. And again, we can consider in our own good time whether we should start looking at it. I don't see any panic mode. There's 235 total liquor licenses in Joliet, of which approximately 106 would be considered possibly bars. The rest are some specialty ones. There's 13 that are beer and wine only, like the one we just recently passed for that ceramic shop, that kind of thing. So it's not gotten out of hand. I always like to see the numbers, the facts, so we don't get the emotion. I thought we had more than this. I really did over the years, but we have not. Like I said, 106 taverns, if you will, or bars, and 235 total. So again, I wanted to get that out there, and I wanted to thank staff for turning this around quickly.
Under ordinances, Council Memo Number 336-25, ordinance approving one or more supplemental indentures and authorizing the issuance of not to exceed 145 million waterworks and sewerage senior lien revenue bonds of the City of Joliet, Illinois. It is recommended that ordinance be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Can I stop a minute? Maybe, Kevin, we can talk a little bit about this 145 million, what it does, how it gets repaid.
Yeah, so as the memo says, and we did a presentation at Finance Committee on May 20th, but real quickly, the 145 million is designed to fund about 87 million of our improvements to accept Lake Michigan water for sewer and water. A little over 36 million are our cost related to the construction or the design of the Grand Prairie Water Commission's improvements. We get a credit for that back as part of our contributions to Grand Prairie, so our costs are the same whether we do this or Grand Prairie does it. As we were the lead agency, that was part of the agreement. And then approximately 11 million in debt service reserves. Those that don't know, debt service reserve is a requirement that we have 1 year's worth of bond payments, I'll say, in the bank for the bondholders for their security in case we default. If we don't default, which we don't anticipate, that makes the last year's worth of bond payment. The structure that we're looking for is up to 30 years. Expect the interest rate to be less than 6%. And so we will be using sewer and water rates to pay this bond back. This is something that we've programmed in as we've looked at the rate studies over the past few years. This has been in the plan, if you will, going back a number of years, and will continue to be in the plan. One of the things we talked about at Finance Committee was, monthly there's a finance team meeting related to our sewer and water improvements and the financing plan. That team consists of, obviously, myself, our financial advisor, some bond underwriters, the project team, engineers, director of utilities, Allison Swisher, where we look at the status of the program, our projects, and then the financing plan. We meet monthly, to make sure we're staying on top of it and to see if we need to pivot anything. our structure and our plan of attack is to make sure that we're using financing in the most economic way possible to keep rates down as low as we can. And so, as we talked about before, we'll look at things and we'll pivot, whether it's a revenue bond, letter of credit, state SRF, or federal EPA loans. We're trying to maximize the dollars and minimize the impact to residents.
Thank you. Any other questions? No. Thank you. Okay.
Okay. It's been motion and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Resolutions. Council Memo Number 337-25. Resolution authorizing the agreement between the City of Joliet and the Village of Shanahan regarding the provision of law enforcement mutual aid. It is recommended that a resolution be adopted.
So
Motion.
moved.
Second.
Any questions? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 338-25, resolution authorizing the execution of an intergovernmental agreement with the Will County 911 Emergency Telephone System Board, ETSB, to accept grant funds available under the 911 Surcharge Grant Program, SGP, in the amount of $1,242,000. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 339-25, resolution appropriating Rebuild Illinois bond funds for the Advanced Traffic Management System Phase B project, MFT, section number 2100546-03-TL in the amount of $648,969.63. It is recommended that a resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second. Any questions? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 340-25, resolution approving Amendment Number 2 to the agreement between the City of Joliet and the Forest Preserve District of Will County for services related to the Hollywood Road, Humboldt Road, I-80 to U.S. Route 6 interchange modifications and roadway reconstruction project. It is recommended that resolution be adopted.
So moved. Second.
Any questions? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 341-25, resolution adopting an intergovernmental agreement for the routine maintenance of state routes located within the City of Joliet. It is recommended that resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Thank you.
Mayor, I do have a question.
Okay.
Would it be, could we just ask IDOT when they're going to do something, could they give us some time to, when they're going to do these things, and instead of all of a sudden, bam, especially when we're doing all these water projects with the streets all tore up. People are very upset.
Greg, you're in communication with them, aren't you?
Excuse me, I am. We're regularly communicating with them. Do you have a specific instance you're referring to, Councilman Coleman?
Well, just all of a sudden, I mean, we were doing the, the tearing up of all the streets for the, there's different sections that we have planned for the water. And then all of a sudden, we have to do this bridge, and then we have to do that bridge, and then that one has to get closed down, and it was just chaos the last couple
Maybe
of weeks.
just explain to her, Greg, what this is and what it means.
Yeah, so in this particular instance, this is kind of unrelated to your question. This is where the city does snow plowing and pothole patching and street sweeping on state routes that are within city limits. So like the downtown area, Cass Street, Jefferson Street, through the center of town, Jefferson Street. So they pay us to complete those tasks for them on segments of the roads that are in the middle of town. What you're referring to, I think, is a higher level of all the projects that are going on. We do have a regular coordination meeting with them. Public Utilities is also involved because of all the water main work going on, and we try to coordinate work. So say they're closing a downtown bridge for whatever reason. I know there was utility work on and a resurfacing as well from the public works side on Ruby Street. We were trying to coordinate that, but unfortunately, the downtown bridges, a lot of moving parts there where the schedules get shifted around. So we're coordinating as best as we can. We are communicating with them, but because of things like the Jefferson Street Bridge suddenly going out of service, it throws all of our coordination kind of out of whack.
And I understand all that, but I wanted to bring that up because I knew what your explanation was going to be, but I wanted people at home to understand that.
Sure.
Because I'm getting a lot of calls about how come this, how come that. So I wanted you to explain the whole thing, why and what's happening. We're trying to work together, but just everything happened at once.
That's correct.
We had our control.
And IDOT has shifted scheduling of some of their work around to try and lessen the pain, so to speak. But there's only so much they can do with as much work as the city is doing, as much work as they're doing in the area. It's just a kind of a perfect storm of.
Right. But I just saw this as an opportunity to bring it up so people can listen to it and read about it because we're getting blamed, and I keep telling them it's not us. We're trying to work together with everyone. So
we are.
Thank you for that explanation.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor. Just real quick, we all get inundated with the calls, right? There's a lot of construction, but this is critical to the city of Joliet and all our partners. I know it's a big inconvenience, and we're sorry that it has to be like this, all the construction everywhere, but this is critical to the water situation here in the city of Joliet. I mean, if this isn't happening, we're going to be, we're not going to be able to have the demand of water, to supply all the citizens here, and that's why this commission started. But Allison, can you talk real briefly? How old is the system? I don't mean to get off topic here, but we do get hammered every day about all the construction, every road's tore up, and I understand that, but this project has to go forward.
Hey, Joe, we got to get this vote through.
Yeah,
This isn't correlated to that. Let's get this done. We can come back to that. Thank you.
Okay. It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 342-25, resolution appropriating motor fuel tax funds for Phase 2 engineering services for the Theodore Street over Rock Run Creek Bridge Improvement Project, MFT Section Number 19-00522-00BR in the amount of $397,566. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved. Second.
Any comments? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 343-25, resolution approving an agreement with the Illinois Department of Transportation for Phase 2 engineering services for the Theodore Street over Rock Run Creek Bridge Improvement Project, MFT Section Number 19-00522-00BR in the amount of $397,566. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved. Second.
Any comments? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 344-25, resolution appointing an alternate commissioner to the Grand Prairie Water Commission. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Thanks for your opportunity, Mayor. Aye.
Thank you, Joe.
Councilman Hug?
Let me think about that. Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next is the city manager's report.
Before I start with my downtown construction update, I just want to welcome my father-in-law, Harley Joe Haynes II, is sitting in the back next to my husband. He's visiting us from Colorado. So glad you're here, Joe.
Stand up. You can't see.
Oh, you can't see him. Just wave your hand. Jan wants to see you. Okay. So moving on to an update for downtown construction. Last week's progress included planter curbs and walks being installed on Chicago Street from Jefferson to Van Buren. Asphalt patching of utility trenches on Clinton Street was initiated, and electrical installations with the city square continued. The work scheduled for the week of June 2nd is construction on the ComEd vault in front of the library will be completed. Asphalt patching on Clinton, Cass, and Scott at Clinton will also be finished. Foundation work will continue within the city square. Parking along Chicago Street adjacent to the work zones will be restricted while crews are actively working. Expect daily closures. As always, we appreciate residents' continued patience and cooperation as improvements move forward. Next is the Guns N' Hoses game. On Thursday, May 22nd, I was able to attend the annual Joliet Guns N' Hoses charity softball game at the Slammer Stadium that raises money for Easter Seals of Joliet. This year's winner is the Joliet Fire Department, so a lot to celebrate with the fire department today. You're going to have to win next year, Chief Evans. The Joliet Police Honor Guard, Joliet Police Pipes and Drums, Joliet Police K-9 Unit, and Joliet Police Neighborhood-Oriented Policing Team also participated throughout the event, performing and providing demonstrations. I want to thank all of our staff, volunteers, and everyone else who came out in support of the Easter Seals. Bridge update. We're still working diligently with the Illinois Department of Transportation on getting the bridge reopened as soon as possible. We're exploring options, and I hope to share more definitive information at our next meeting. State of the City address. On Wednesday, May 28th, members of the leadership team and several of our elected officials attended Mayor Darcy's State of the City address. The event was hosted by the Joliet Chamber of Commerce. Over 350 people attended as the mayor spoke about his first 2 years in office and the accomplishments of the administration to date. He also spoke about several important topics such as economic development, city finances, public safety, and more. A copy of the video is on our website for residents who want to view the speech in its entirety. It was a great day. Lots of people showed up. You did a great job, Mayor. So that concludes my report.
Okay, next we have public comments. Is there anyone who would like to address the council this evening?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Council, City staff. I came before the council back in March and talked about term limits. I would like to come back to discuss how we can accomplish this. As you're aware, I got sidetracked with some family events. As I stated then, the number one issue, overwhelming issue among American people across all political party lines is term limits. I'm happy to report that 6 of the 7 candidates who are running for 3 at-large seats stated they supported term limits. That's 86%. As I previously stated, the poll I conducted with 300 plus people, 90.3% wanted term limits. Term limits is the greatest grassroots movement in American history. People want government by the people, for the people. Not a ruling class who care more about the deals to benefit themselves rather than constituents. Benefits of term limits: they increase the duration of competitive elections. In theory, with more term limits, more elected officials must leave office with greater regularity. 2, term limits curb the influence of lobbyists because political campaigns cost so much money, as you're well aware. Even at local level, money and at least the appearance of influence are intertwined with governance. Term limits 3, term limits will produce a citizen legislator of more ordinary people rather than full-time politicians. Number 4, term limits will promote fresh ideas. Government needs leaders, not lifetime tenants. People seem to forget who they work for, we the people. This also brings fresh blood and new ideas. This is a relatively simple procedure that the City Council can take action. Number 1, the City Council can change the ordinance to state that the mayor and City Council can hold the office for no more than 3 consecutive terms, 4 years each. It doesn't preclude the City Council member running for mayor's position after 12 years as a council member. Number 2, second option is to the council member to put this issue on a ballot as a referendum and let the voters decide. I believe that would pass overwhelmingly. The voters of Joliet, number 3, the voters of Joliet could collect the signatures required to force the issue to the ballot. I really don't think that's necessary. The organization, U.S. Term Limits, states it is clear that most term limit initiatives that make it to a vote of the people pass overwhelmingly, unless politicians who fear job security mislead the public with deceitful ballot language. As I stated before, this proposal does not change or affect the current council members on the council. It only future elections. Simply put, voters want term limits. They want fresh faces with fresh ideas, and that would provide this. U.S. Senate, U.S. House of Representative members serve 20, 30, 40, 50 plus years in office. You have Illinois Senate and House representatives serving as much as 50 years in office. On the City Council, we have had people serve as high as 34 years on the City Council. Bottom line, these elected positions should not become a retirement home for elected officials. In addition, I believe the council needs to look at the disclosure of interest statement and discuss some issues concerning political contributions. In closing, I ask the mayor, city manager, the city council, all of which are can legally request a meeting with the legislative committee to discuss these issues and develop an ordinance to bring to full council for a vote. I truly believe the majority of city council will pass this ordinance. Thank you very much.
Is there anyone? Okay.
Hi, my name is Brandon Perez. Thank you for having me speak. I hope you're all having a good day. I just want to give a speech. It's kind of like building a park. I have a proposal for a park to be built. But before I give this speech, I just want to let you, the city council, know that I love everyone regardless of their color. That's how my parents taught me. Race, religion, belief doesn't matter. So I say this speech, with love and compassion. So I just want to let you guys know that before I speak. But here's my speech. My name is Brandon Perez. I come here before you, leaders of Joliet, concerning an important matter. Thank you for having me speak, every single one of you. I care about the city as much as my fellow neighbors do, hence the reason why I'm here, standing before you. I would like to offer you my opinion about a property being built near my house, that property being the future site of the Sri Ayyappa Swami Temple. I have previously spoke with the city council and leaders of Plainfield concerning the construction of the temple being built on the corner of Estrada Road and Catton Farm Road right across the CVS. After speaking to them about my alternative proposal for a park instead, they told me to speak with you, the city council and leaders of Joliet. Since the future construction of the temple affects both the city of Joliet and Plainfield, I would share with you in just a moment a few demographics as to why building the temple wouldn't be the best idea in the long run, since the temple only caters to a small amount of people. Respectively, I want to request a different proposal for the property being built. My idea is to build a community park where everyone, not just those who identify as Hindu, can come together and enjoy outdoor activity. While people do have the freedom of religion under the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, I strongly believe that my idea for building a community park featuring many entertainments, fun amenities, and physical exercise will benefit the people of Joliet and Plainfield more positively than a temple that only caters to a small fraction of the population. So here are the demographics as to why building a park is better than a temple. According to Nielsberg.com and the World Population Review, as of 2025, the largest racial group in Joliet is white/European, with a population of 52%, while the rest of the population of Joliet includes 33% Hispanic, 16% African American, and 2% which are Asian, and the remaining 7% which are American Indian and Alaska Native. As for the city of Plainfield, according to the World Population Review and Nielsberg.com, as of 2025 in Plainfield, Illinois, approximately 9.3% of the population identifies as Asian alone. The percentage of people who identify as American Indian and Alaska Native in Plainfield is 0.2%. With all these demographics being shared with you, most people who practice a Hindu religion are of Asian and Indian descent. If approximately 72% of the population in Illinois is white, and approximately 52% of the population in Joliet is white/European, why do we need a Hindu temple being built on a large vacant land when only a small fraction of the population will be going to that temple? To put this in perspective, if you combine the population of Joliet and Plainfield, that equals to about almost 200,000 residents. Out of those 200,000 residents, only less than 1% are going to be attending that temple. So I know my time is short, so let me share the most important points. To put this in perspective, it's like putting the Jewish synagogue in the middle of a predominantly African American neighborhood. How many people will that attract? Not many. So if you're interested, I hope that the leaders and city council of Joliet and Plainfield hear my voice and aid me in funding this park. Thank you. Well, I can share with you after. This is my sketch for the park. It offers and I do apologize, I'm going a little bit over time, but I wrote out, the plan for the park. This is the land that the temple's being built on. This is my sketch and outline for the park. It offers a skate park, 2 volleyball courts, picnic areas, a botanical garden, a splash pad park for kids, a children's playground, basketball court, tennis court, and sorry, one more thing, I do apologize. If you see right here, it says Faces of Plainfield. So I'm pretty sure all of you have gone to the city of Chicago where they have that face and water's coming out of the mouth. I would like to build something like that in the park. So if any of you are interested in talking with me concerning, this concerning this proposal, I would greatly appreciate it. And thank you all for your time.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor, real quick. Is that Droughton and Caden Farm? Is that?
Yeah.
Got it. Yep. Thank you.
He said Estro.
Okay.
Okay. Is there anyone else who would like to address the council this evening?
Good evening, excuse me. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, City Council, and the residents of Joliet. My name is Diane Matter, and I live at 1316 New Lenox Road, Joliet. I was just wondering if any of you council members or committee members were able to get out to the Love's Truck Stop site where it's being built. I wish that you would come out there and see what is going on there, just so that you have a visual of what we're having to put up with. Okay, today I want to talk about a concept that might seem complex, but it's essential to understand its implications on our community. I'm referring to corporate welfare. In technical terms, corporate welfare refers to the provision of financial benefits, subsidies, or other forms of assistance by the government to large corporations. In simpler terms, corporate welfare is when the government uses taxpayer money to support big businesses, often in the form of tax breaks, grants, or infrastructure investments. This can create an uneven playing field where large corporations receive favorable treatment while small businesses and individuals bear the burden. Now, let's look at Love's Truck Stop proposal. The company is seeking to build a truck stop in our residential area, and they've been offered a significant tax abatement. Tax abatement is a form of corporate welfare, where the government reduces or eliminates taxes for a specific business or project. In this case, Love's is receiving a tax abatement, which means they'll pay lower taxes than other businesses in our area. This might seem like a good deal for Love's, but what about the impact on our community? With lower taxes, Love's will have more resources to invest in their business, but our community will lose revenue that could be used for essential services like schools, roads, and public safety. Here's the thing. Tax abatements are often used to attract businesses to an area, but they can also create a burden on taxpayers when corporations like Love's receives tax breaks. The burden shifts to individuals and small businesses, such as the 2 current gas stations in the area who have to make up for the lost revenue through higher taxes or reduced services. So, what's the benefit for our community? We're not just talking about the potential environment and health impacts of a truck stop in our residential area. We're also talking about the financial burden that comes with corporate welfare by offering Love's a tax abatement. Our community is essentially subsidizing their business, potentially sacrificing our own interests. As citizens, it's essential to understand the implications of corporate welfare and how it affects our community. We need to ask ourselves, are we getting a fair deal? Are the benefits of this project worth the cost? By working together and having open discussions, we can ensure that our community's interests are protected and that we're making informed decisions about our future. The use of special permits and exemption raises suspicions about the legitimacy of this project. As a resident of the city, I am troubled by the lack of transparency and accountability in this process. It seems that our community's interests were sacrificed for the benefit of a select few. I urge you to investigate these allegations and ensure that our city governance is transparent, accountable, and prioritizes the well-being of its residents. In conclusion, corporate welfare, including tax abatement, can have significant implications for our community. It's crucial that we understand these concepts and their potential impact on our lives. By doing so, we can make informed decisions and work towards creating a better future for ourselves and our community. At this time, I would like to thank Susie Ibarra for all the help she's been doing trying to get some of the safety issues addressed. And also, I would like to thank Greg Ruddy for calling me back and working with the neighborhood to ensure our safety. I really appreciate all your help and thank you for your time. Thanks.
Thank you.
Good evening, council members. And hey, we talk about all the construction and how frustrating it is with the bridges. I know these ain't city bridges. We know that these are IDOT bridges, but these bridges happen to be in the city, and I think the city needs to get more, I don't know what we could do to get IDOT's butt going on this stuff, but the bridge is always breaking, but I'm specifically speaking about the Brandon Road Bridge, which they don't project to open now till September, maybe September, to where it'd be closed a full 2 years. I went down there to check on it myself because I keep going by there. I keep asking IDOT and calling IDOT. They know my name. It's just as bad as you guys know me for how many times I come here to city council meetings. Well, that's about how many times I keep calling IDOT to try to get answers about this Brandon Road Bridge. To why it ain't open. Why I never see anybody down there working on it. I get told that there's people working underneath the bridge in the water there. Okay, they told me that it would be open within the first couple weeks of January of 2025, and that didn't happen. They lied to me. The guy said he was going right down there and says, hey, it's going to be open, and they lied to me. Now it turns out they got this excuse that they need new engines, and they're waiting on trying to get new engine parts to it. And again, I went down there like a week and a half ago to see the other side of it, you know, to see if there's anybody actually working on the bridge. And what I got, you know, all I could see is they're working on that Asian carp trap thing. They got gravel on the road, on Brandon Road. They even tore up a little bit of the railroad tracks there on the Brandon Road crossing to make sure people don't go down there, but there's people down there on the bridge fishing. But I went down there to see it. I said, well, this is the whole reason why it's closed. And I just asked a simple question to the workers, is anybody working on the Brandon Road Bridge? You see anybody working on the bridge? These people doing the Asian carp trap thing, you know, U.S. Army Corps engineers and then Miguel's construction. Nobody want to answer a simple yes or no question if they've seen anybody working on the bridge. I called the corporation, Miguel's construction, and they told the people down there, and they called me right back then. They got me the answer that I was looking for. They say, every once in a while, a deconstruction worker goes out there and checks the bridge. but they don't do no work. No work's getting done, and it's deconstruction that IDOT has hired to fix this bridge. And deconstruction, of course, is all over the place doing other highway projects for IDOT, but they're totally ignoring and getting this Brandon Road Bridge fixed for us. You know, I know you guys can't, you know, it ain't your guys' bridges, but it's in your town. You know, we just gotta get to the bottom of the whole truth of this thing. That Asian carp thing, what I'm reading, that it's been scientifically proven that the Asian carp are not going up more north because of all the contaminants and pollution in the water. The carp don't like it, so they, in the last 10 years, they have not progressed any more north, so this project is a useless, wasteful $1.6 billion taxpayer dollars. I think it's just for somebody to pad their pockets. But we need to get something done. You know, John Farik, when that priest died out there, I remember John Farik doing his live feed on that thing, and he said that IDOT told him the bridge is closed because they're doing the Asian carp trap, not because the bridge is broken. I wish we could get to the truth of this and find out what the real reason why is the Brandon Road Bridge is not getting fixed, because we want it open, we want our road back, we want our shortcut back.
Good evening. My 7th grade daughter was bullied September of last year and popped in the face with a rubber band. While she was the victim, she was handled as though she was the offender. As a result, I had to enroll my children in a homeschooling program, and I'm currently fighting a case for trespassing at my kids' school. However, I would like for my children to return to a regular school district, but I'm having a difficult time due to residential restrictions. I'm concerned for my children's safety at Lairway 70C school, especially under the current administration. As the mother of a student who was recently bullied, I'm deeply concerned about how the situation was handled and how little support was offered, not just to my daughter, but to me as a parent, trying to not only advocate for her safety and well-being, but for my other 2 minor children. I would like to discuss what actions the city can take and are willing to take to revise current bullying policies and consider establishing a local ordinance that protects victims of bullying, ensures accountability within school administrations, and provides alternative academic options so that victims aren't further punished by falling behind in school due to trauma. I would like to schedule a meeting with the appropriate personnel to discuss details and provide documentation as necessary, hopefully prior to school starting again in August, so they can go to regular school. Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to address the council this evening? Okay, seeing none, we will have mayor and council comments next.
I'll start. All right, well, on the topic of construction and bridges, I just want to thank the police department and the staff for, I've noticed that we've had more police presence at that Bridge Street, which has helped a lot with the traffic control there. Ever since we've been seeing, having police vehicles there controlling traffic, it really hasn't been as chaotic as it's been in the past with that bridge closure. So it's not a solution yet, but it's been very helpful. So I just want to say thank you for that and hope we can continue doing that. Second, I just want to make sure to remind everybody and invite them out to Star Wars Day this Saturday, June 7th at 11 a.m. at the Slammer Stadium. The parade will be hosted around the stadium there. It's always a fun time. A bunch of everyone come out with their families. It's a free event, so it's always cool to see everybody in the cosplay and all that. So it's supposed to be a beautiful, beautiful weekend. So make sure to get out for that. And then we'll be reconvening again till after the 13th and 14th, which is the IHSA state final tournament baseball at the stadium as well. So just again, like to see a lot of the good activities happening in the downtown area. Even though we've got a lot of construction happening, we've seen a lot of good traffic down there. So just want to continue that and invite everyone out there to make sure they come and enjoy those 2 events. And lastly, just happy birthday, Mr. John Sheridan. thank you for spending it with us today. Thank you. Happy birthday.
Thank you. I want to thank the Joliet Police. I think you're looking at my paper here, but I want to thank the Joliet Police for doing all the traffic over there. They're doing a great job and making traffic flow there safely. About that, yesterday I brought up the potholes and the sewer covers. Thank you so much for the response. I just want everybody at home to know the near west side, we're redoing the sewer covers, and the contractor is going to come out and start paving around those, so we should alleviate the potholes there. So thank you for that. Also, a few of the guys that over on the street department were asking me we can throw it on for next year's budget, another hot box asphalt heater for the east side. We have 4. We have 1 on the east side, 2 near west side, or I should say Gale Drive, and then 1 far west. They were telling me that they could possibly use another one on the east side, or to share with the near west side. So, but thank you for that. Allison, can you talk? How old is our water system? And again, that's what I was talking about earlier. I know we have some pain going on with all the construction, but this is something that we have to do. Just we can let the general public know, how old the system is.
Yeah, we have pipes that are over 100 years old.
Yeah, so we have to do this. It's critical. So I just want to let the residents know we're doing the best we can. I know everything's hitting us all at once, but this is something that we have to do. Chief, if I could talk just, Evans, just briefly, Riverwalk, that whole Hickory Street corridor, we're starting to have cars parked all along both sides of the street. I drove by there. There's no way we can get an ambulance through there, or emergency personnel or fire truck, especially on Riverwalk. There are people walking all over, and they're parking on both sides of the street. You can't get through there. So if we could maybe talk about, no parking signs on maybe one side of the street, or stagger it, but it's getting very congested over there. If we can look into that. And on a sad note, one of our very own, Tony Lakota, he's the president of the FOP Labor Council. His father passed away last week, Louis Lou Lakota. He was 83, Joliet native, Joliet Legion band member for 66 years. He played the clarinet, and his wake's going to be here Thursday. So just want to give my condolences to the Lakota family, and we're sorry for your loss. So, thank you.
Just to add on to what Councilman Clement had said, and of course, we know the 15th is Father's Day. So the wake for Tony Lakota's dad is from 3 till 8 p.m. This Thursday at TZAC Funeral Home on Route 30. And again, in the spirit of Father's Day, we have a resident here today, and he's been here before, and he's involved in the community. John Sheridan. I'm going to formally, it's been over a month, but John's son, Johnny Jr., passed away on April 5th. He was 57, am I right? 56. We're going to be 57 in August, right? Okay. So again, on Father's Day, that's a tough pill to swallow. My thoughts are with you. My thoughts are with Tony as well. With that said, I am going to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers and the dads out there especially, because our meeting will be the day after Father's Day, before we see you all again. And I will remind people, and Kevin, you might help me out a little bit here too. We've been doing our road, there's a lot of road repairs going on. There's I-80, which is not our project. It's over $1 billion project for the state, with I-80 and straightening of the bridge, if you will, or realigning of the bridge. Then we have the water project, which is a lot of construction. But we also did, back in 2020, we put together a plan to increase spending. At the time, we were averaging $3.5 to $4 million a year on street resurfacing and repairs. Starting in 2021, post COVID, so this is the 4th year, I believe. We went from $3.5 to $4 million up to $14 million, up to $18 million. I believe we're up to $20 million now, Kevin.
We were actually at 17.8 in the 25 budget.
Okay.
Plus Chicago Street.
And what do we? Okay, so we're at 17.8. So we're right around the 18 still.
Yep.
Okay, and that's going to go on for several more years, because we needed to do. I mean, a lot of the streets were crumbling, and I pushed hard for a number of years when finally the council got together and made it a priority, and we'll continue to do that. But so yeah, I mean, this is when people would call and complain prior to getting this program started, And I agreed with them, and many of the streets weren't getting in horrible condition, but I did warn them. I said, once we start doing this, it's going to be very inconvenient because there's a lot of catch-up to do after many, many years. And I figure another 3 years to 4 years at the most, it will be caught up, and then it will become a regular 20-year cycle like we should have had all along. So with that, again, like I said, happy Father's Day to everyone up here and to everyone out there.
Okay, so I would like to start wishing my dad a happy Father's Day. You are everything in the world to me, and you have made me everything that I am, so happy Father's Day. Thanks for the reminder, Larry. I wanted to let everyone know I was at the Reedwood Neighborhood Council, and the Joliet Fire Department AED demonstration was there. They brought this dummy. I can't remember his name, but looked around. No one else wanted to do CPR on him, so I thought I'd give it a whirl and test it out. I actually gave CPR so well, they told me I would have broken his ribs had that been a real human being. So I think I better sign up for that CERT team with Lukancic and do the Saturday class because I don't want to break any ribs trying to save someone's life. It was really fun though. Reedwood Neighborhood Council is always so welcoming to us, and they are very appreciative to have that demonstration. It was engaging and lively. And then Saturday, I had the most amazing fun time. Downtown was bustling with businesses having events. It was just amazing. But this Chicago street market, out of this world. You see here pictured the most beautiful sunflowers from Internode Greenery. All of the booths had amazing food, snacks, freeze-dried candy. But Internode was very special to me because I've been eating vegetables every day since that day. I got a whole bag full of tomatoes and garlic and green beans. Brussels sprouts cost me less than $15. So you definitely have to head out there Saturday, and every Saturday, May through September, 9 to 1. It was so much fun, and it was a beautiful day. So thank you. I want to give everyone the reminder of my District 5 Advisory Council, and this is very important. It is time to get to work. We're meeting Thursday, June 12th, 6 to 8 at the Joliet Public Library downtown in the Burnham Room. So if you're a resident of District 5 or you have a business in District 5, we need you, and we will be working. These are working groups starting Thursday, June 12th, so it is very important. I also would be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that a 13-year-old was killed in my district, and they say that for every murder victim, 150 people's lives are affected forever. This happened 20 years ago. A loved one of mine was murdered. I think that number is much, much higher. So if you are affected by this, you need help. We have help for you. Reach out to me or the fire department. We can find you counseling services. We can find you help. And that is my report, Mr. Mayor.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
I just want to say happy birthday, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, and my condolences to the Lakota family, and also John Sheridan as well. One more time, my condolences, and thank you to reiterate on Councilman Cardenas. Thank you, Joliet Police Department, for doing a great job and helping out with traffic, and that's all. Thank you.
Just a couple of things following up on what Caesar had started. This Saturday, as mentioned, June 7th at 11 a.m. at the far east side of Slammer Field, which is referred to as Power Alley, the Joliet Public Library will be sponsoring their Star Wars program, not in front of their building as in the past because of obvious road issues. The parade will then circle around the stadium, and then items and the show will be inside the stadium for the rest of the afternoon. As mentioned, next weekend, the 14th, is the high school tournament. The teams are playing in the sectionals right now. The class 3A and 4A have not been identified as yet. We do have a couple local teams. We have a number of local teams that are still in it, and with some luck, we'll get one of those teams or two of those teams to play. That's my report.
Thank you.
Okay, well, I just have something to say. First of all, my sincere condolences to the Lakota family and the passing of their father. I know he was quite the man, and he'll be sorely missed. So I have to read this from my phone because I wasn't able to get it printed. But it's about one of our employees who's about to retire. His name is Greg Smith. He's been a longtime City Joliet employee, and he'll be retiring June 12th after 29 years of dedicated service. Greg spent part of his career at Bicentennial Park, where he was the head of maintenance and event operations. Since 2008, he has served as the principal 399 operating engineer at the City of Joliet Transportation Campus. He was responsible for the daily operation and maintenance of historic Union Station, Gateway Transportation Center, Pace Bus Terminal, and Slammer Stadium. Each spring, Craig could be seen all over downtown area planting flowers and keeping things clear. There isn't anything he couldn't or wouldn't do. You just asked him anything, and he'd be right there on the spot to fix it. In his retirement, he will continue to work with a stagehand for local Union 124, and he's looking forward to spending lots of time cooking, boating, and skiing on Bass Lake, where he can enjoy retirement with his family. Great employee, he will be missed. And something else I would like to say, nice speech on the other day, Mr. Mayor, and a lot of people were attended, and it was packed. It was packed, so. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, and happy Father's Day to my dad in heaven. So thank you all.
Thank you.
I would like to remind everybody that there's still openings for the next CERT class. I did it, I completed it, it was fantastic. It's life lessons that we all should learn, and it's there for all of us to be helping one another in case of a tragedy. The other thing I would like to say is, as you know, my mother passed a couple weeks ago, and she was my friend and mentor my whole life. I want to thank you all for the outpouring of support, cards, calls, emails, visitation, coming to the visitations, food. It meant so much to me and my family, and in such a difficult time, it helped so much. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And that's all.
Mayor, can I say something? Sherry, I feel like a heel. I was talking about the other people that passed. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no.
I know. I'm so sorry I didn't mention that as well, too. But of course, you have our condolences.
I know. I felt it for the last 2 weeks.
Okay.
Thank you. I want to say a few words about the young boy that lost his life yesterday. The loss of a child is a pain no parent, no family, and no community should ever endure. We are all heartbroken to learn of the senseless shooting that claimed the life of a 13-year-old boy in our city. On behalf of the entire city council, I extend our deepest condolences to the young boy's family and loved ones. Words cannot ease the grief they're feeling, but please know that our thoughts and prayers are with the family. I'd like to take just a moment of silence. Thank you. We as a city need to get our arms around the young people in our community. I am going to want to meet with some of the school leaders and talk about what can we do with some of the facilities we have. We need to give these kids something to do, and that'll be a mission that I think we all need to get on, is to try and help raise the kids like a village, and we're really sorry for that loss. Yesterday, Beth Beatty, myself, and Jan Coleman attended the Grand Prairie Water Commission groundbreaking in Chicago. Commissioners from the Grand Prairie Water Commission joined Congresswoman Lauren Underwood, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, and other key stakeholders to celebrate the groundbreaking for the Commission's alternative water source program. The event was held at the site of the first construction project near Chicago's Southwest Pumping Station at Durkin Park. The next step of the construction of more than 60 miles of new water transmission main, as well as water pumping stations, storage, and delivery facilities between Chicago and the Commission communities. Construction and improvements are projected to be complete by 2030. We're all proud of the leadership our city has shown in managing this project, particularly under the supervision of our Public Utilities Director, Allison Swisher, and her team. Thank you, Allison, for all your efforts on this project. Finally, this year marks the 100th anniversary of WJOL, the voice of Joliet, one of the most enduring and trusted institutions. They're hosting a celebration Thursday. I believe it's at the Jacob Henry Mansion. It's going to go from 4 to 8 or 9. Tickets are available through WJOL's website. On behalf of the entire city, we want to congratulate the entire team of WJOL for this incredible milestone. I too would like to thank Craig Smith. He is a craftsman of unbelievable talent. The things he's done has been amazing. His touch to the city has been very noticed, and we'll all miss him. I'd like to wish John Sheridan happy birthday also. Happy birthday, John. Thank you. Also, again, happy Father's Day to all the fathers, and thank you all for being here, and God bless Joliet. Thank you.
Okay. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned?
No.